NBA Power Rankings. Can the Pistons or Spurs challenge the Thunder for the top spot? As the 2026 NBA trade deadline approaches, the league is entering a critical stretch of the season. With just 1 week left before February 5th, teams across both conferences are evaluating their rosters, weighing trade options, and trying to build momentum for the second half of the year. While the trade market has been fairly quiet so far, the action on the court has been anything but. Power shifts are happening, contenders are showing cracks, and several young teams are proving they belong among the NBA's elite. Thunder still lead, but they look more human. The Oklahoma City Thunder remain the #1 team in the NBA with a 38-10 record, but January has tested them more than any other month. After losing just 5 games before the new year, the Thunder have already dropped 5 games this month alone. The main concern has been three-point shooting and losses. In their 10 defeats, Oklahoma City has made only 30.8% of its shots from beyond the arc. When role players fail to knock down open looks, opponents have been able to overload defensive schemes and slow the Thunder's explosive offense. Even with these issues, Oklahoma City still holds a comfortable 6-game lead in the Western Conference. However, the gap is slowly shrinking. Detroit Pistons are no longer a surprise. The Detroit Pistons sit firmly at #2 with a strong 34-11 record. What once looked like a breakout season now feels like a statement year. Detroit's front office faces an important decision with a $14 million trade exception that expires this summer. Adding a reliable scorer or three-point shooter could help the Pistons close the gap with Oklahoma City. Cade Cunningham remains the engine of the team. Despite dealing with a wrist injury earlier this month, he recently reminded everyone of his star power with a 29-point performance against Sacramento. If Cunningham stays healthy and Detroit adds the right piece, the Pistons could become a real threat for the league's top spot. Houston Rockets rising fast. One of the biggest movers in the rankings is Houston, jumping to #3. The Rockets are leaning heavily on Kevin Durant, who has embraced the workload and delivered 3 straight 30-point games. While injuries have impacted their frontcourt, Houston is getting key players back into the rotation. Defensive toughness and improved shooting have made them especially dangerous at home, where they've lost only 3 games all season. If the Rockets stay healthy, they could be one of the most dangerous teams in the West heading into the playoffs. Nuggets and Spurs staying in the hunt. The Denver Nuggets remain steady at #4 despite injuries to key starters. Jamal Murray has elevated his game, posting career-best numbers while keeping Denver competitive during Nikola Jokic's absence. Right behind them, the San Antonio Spurs continue to impress at #5. Victor Wembanyama's dominance on both ends of the floor has been a major storyline all season. Now that the Spurs are finally healthy, consistency will be the key factor in whether they can truly challenge Oklahoma City. Eastern Conference tightens up. In the East, the race is far from settled. Boston Celtics, #6, continue to win despite missing Jason Tatum, ranking among the league's best in net rating. New York Knicks, #7, have stabilized after a rough stretch, thanks in part to strong bench shooting. Toronto Raptors, #8, are surging after an impressive West Coast road trip, including a win over the defending champions. Cleveland Cavaliers, #11, are quietly climbing, riding a 4-game winning streak and rediscovering their offensive rhythm. With several teams packed tightly around the play-in line, every game matters. Middle of the pack brings drama. Teams like the Lakers, Timberwolves, Suns, Heat, and 76ers are all fighting to improve positioning before the deadline. Injuries, rotation changes, and potential trades could quickly reshuffle this group. Milwaukee, on the other hand, continues to struggle without Giannis Antetokounmpo. His absence has exposed major flaws, leaving the Bucks in danger of missing the play-in tournament altogether. Bottom teams looking toward the future. At the bottom of the rankings, rebuilding teams such as the Wizards, Pacers, Nets, and Kings are focusing more on player development than wins. Young players are getting extended minutes, and trade rumors continue to swirl as contenders look to add depth. Final thoughts. The Thunder still sit on top of the NBA, but the margin for error is shrinking. Detroit and San Antonio are no longer just exciting young teams. they are legitimate contenders. With the trade deadline approaching and injuries shaping rotations, the next few weeks could redefine the NBA hierarchy. One thing is certain. The race for the top spot is far from over.